Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about and misunderstood coins in American history, the 1956 D Lincoln Wheat penny. Most people think a penny is just worth 1 cent, but for collectors and numismatists, the 1956 D carries a story of mass production errors and the potential for a life-changing payday. The history of the 1956 D Wheat penny. To understand why this coin is so special, we have to go back to the mid-50s. The United States was in a period of great transition, and the Denver Mint was working overtime to keep up with the demand for circulation. In 1956 alone, the Denver Mint struck over 1 billion pennies. Because of this massive production volume, you might think these coins are common, and for the most part you would be right. However, whenever a mint produces over 1 billion of anything, mistakes are bound to happen. The 1956 D is part of the iconic Wheat penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. This was near the very end of the era before the design switched to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959. Because it is a late-date wheat cent, many people save these in jars and rolls, meaning there are still millions of them in existence today. What makes a 1956 D worth millions now? Let us address the big question: is a 1956 D penny really worth millions of dollars? In the world of coin collecting, value is driven by three things: condition, errors, and rarity. While a standard 1956 D in circulated condition is only worth about 2 to 5 cents, the high value comes from rare mint errors. The most famous error for this year is the repunched mint mark, or the RPM. This happened when the letter D was punched into the die more than once, creating a doubled look. Collectors go crazy for these variations. But for a coin to reach that $1 million or high six-figure status, it has to be a specimen that defies logic. We are talking about a coin that has a mint state 67 or 68 grade with full original red luster. Most pennies from 1956 have turned brown or spotted over the decades. If you find one that looks like it was minted yesterday with a deep, vibrant red color and 0 scratches under a microscope, you are looking at a gold mine. The D over S shadow myth. There is also a legendary rumor in the coin community about a 1956 D over S error. While the mint officially denies this, some collectors swear they have found Denver marks struck over San Francisco marks. If a genuine D over S error from 1956 was ever authenticated by a major grading service like PCGS or NGC, it would break every record in the auction world. This is the holy grail that keeps hunters looking through thousands of copper coins every single day. How to identify a high-value penny? If you have a 1956 D penny right now, here is what you need to look for. First, check the color. If it is brown, it is likely worth face value. If it is red or reddish-orange, it is worth holding on to. Second, look at the date and the mint mark through a magnifying glass. Do you see any doubling or a blurry effect on the numbers? This could indicate a double die error, which significantly boosts the price. Third, look at the strike quality. Is Lincoln's hair sharp and detailed? Are the wheat stalks on the back crisp? The sharper the detail, the higher the grade. Even a small upgrade in condition can mean the difference between a $5 coin and a $50,000 coin. Where to sell and what to do next? If you think you have found a winner, do not clean the coin. Cleaning a rare penny actually destroys its value instantly. Instead, place it in a protective flip or a soft cloth. Your next step should be to compare it against known high-grade examples online. The market for 1956 D pennies is hotter than ever in 2026. Auction houses are seeing record prices for mid-century copper. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just someone who found a stray penny in an old desk drawer, the 1956 D Denver penny represents the American dream of finding a fortune in the palm of your hand. Keep hunting and keep checking those dates. You never know when a simple cent will turn into $1 million treasure. The 1955 Lincoln Wheat penny is perhaps the most famous error coin in the history of American numismatics. If you are looking through your pocket change or an old jar of coins and you see a 1955 penny that looks a bit blurry or like it has been printed twice, you might be holding a small fortune in the palm of your hand. The history of the Lincoln Wheat penny dates back to 1909, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first time a U.S. president was featured on a circulating coin, and the design by Victor David Brenner became an instant classic. However, it is the year 1955 that stands out in the minds of collectors everywhere because of a massive mistake that happened at the Philadelphia Mint. During the production process in 1955, a pair of dies was prepared incorrectly. The hub and the die were not aligned properly during the impressing process, resulting in a distinct doubled image. This was not just a small smudge or a minor shift. The doubling on the 1955 double die obverse is so dramatic that it can be seen clearly with the naked eye without the need for a magnifying glass. You will see the date 1955, the word liberty, and the phrase "in God we trust" appearing twice, slightly shifted from one another. Approximately 20,000 to 40,000 of these coins were produced in a single night shift before the mistake was discovered. By the time the mint workers noticed the error, the coins had already been mixed in with millions of regular pennies. Rather than melting down the entire batch, the mint decided to let them go into circulation. This decision turned a manufacturing mistake into a legendary treasure hunt that continues to this day. Now, let's talk about the value and why some people claim these are worth millions. While a standard 1955 penny found in your change is only worth a few cents, a genuine double die specimen is a different story. In circulated condition, these coins often sell for anywhere between $1,000 and $3,000. If you find one in mint state condition, where the original red copper luster is still present and there are no scratches, the price can skyrocket to $50,000 or more at high-end auctions. The reason people talk about million-dollar values is often due to the extreme rarity of certain conditions or specific mint errors associated with that year. While a standard 1955 double die hasn't hit the million-dollar mark yet, it is considered a blue-chip investment in the coin world. Its value has consistently risen over the decades, making it one of the most stable and sought-after items for investors and hobbyists alike. However, you must be careful. Because these coins are so valuable, there are many counterfeits and fakes in the market. Some people try to create a fake doubling effect by striking the coin themselves or using chemicals. A real 1955 double die has very sharp, clear vertical doubling. If you think you have found one, the best thing to do is to have it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Beyond the doubling error, 1955 was also a year of transition for the U.S. Mint. It was the last year that pennies were produced at the San Francisco Mint for several years, and those coins carry a small S mint mark. While they aren't as valuable as the double die, they are still a piece of history that collectors love to hold on to. In conclusion, the 1955 Lincoln Wheat penny represents the perfect storm of history, human error, and financial value. It reminds us that even something as small as a penny can have a massive story behind it. So, before you spend your copper coins at the grocery store, take a second look. You might just be looking at a piece of history worth thousands of dollars. In this video, we are diving deep into the fascinating history and incredible market value of the 1957 Wheat Lincoln penny. While many people think a penny is just a single cent, some specific versions of this coin are worth a life-changing amount of money. If you have a jar of old coins sitting in your house, you might be holding on to a hidden treasure worth thousands or even millions of dollars in the right conditions. The year 1957 was a massive production year for the United States Mint in Denver. They struck over 1 billion of these coins, which is why you see so many of them in circulation today. The D Mint mark located right under the date stands for Denver. Because so many were made, a standard 1957 D penny that has been scratched or worn down is usually only worth about 3 to 5 cents. However, the real magic happens when we look at the rare exceptions, the high-grade specimens, and the unique mint errors that collectors are desperate to find. First, let us talk about the condition. In the world of coin collecting, we use a scale from 1 to 70 to grade a coin. A 1957 D penny in a mint state 67 or 68 grade is extremely rare. At this level, the coin must have its original bright red luster and be completely free of any noticeable scratches or marks. While a common 1957 D is cheap, a red MS-67 version has been known to sell for over $5,000 at major auctions. If someone ever found a perfect MS-69 or MS-70, that coin could easily break records because it would be one of the finest known to exist from that era. Next, we have to discuss the errors. This is where the value truly skyrockets. Some 1957 D pennies were accidentally struck on the wrong metal planchets or featured double dies. There have been reports of pennies from this era being struck on silver dime planchets. If you find a 1957 D penny that looks silver and weighs less than a normal copper penny, you are looking at a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. Another major error to look for is the repunched mint mark. This happens when the D was punched into the die twice, creating a shadowed look. Collectors pay a massive premium for these varieties. The reason these coins capture the imagination of millions is the dream of the million-dollar find. While a standard 1957D has not hit the $1 million mark yet, similar coins like the 1943 copper penny have. Collectors believe that as the supply of high-quality 1957D pennies disappears into private collections, the value of the remaining perfect coins will continue to climb. Investors are now looking at rare copper pennies as a better investment than gold or stocks because their historical value never fades. Before you spend your old pennies at the grocery store, take a magnifying glass and look closely at the date and the mint mark. Look for any doubling of the letters or any strange coloration. Check the edges to see if they are smooth or reeded. A simple mistake by a mint worker over 60 years ago could be your ticket to a massive payday. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1957D Lincoln penny, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more coin hunting tips. Leave a comment below if you have found any wheat pennies in your change lately. We want to hear about your best finds and help you determine if they are rare treasures or common coins. Keep hunting and keep checking those pocket change jars because you never know when you will find the next big winner.